Hello there. Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. How are we doing today? How are we doing? Right. Let me make sure my microphone is in a good place. That looks all right. Let me just hit calibrate on this. Well, there we go. Ababa. Doing well. How are you? I'm good. I'm very good. Thanks for coming back, Trance. Very kind. Right. Well, a little bit of lip balm for my lips, and I have a cup of tea that is currently too hot to drink. Right. So today, I have some 2D work to do. I have had I've had a commission that has been on hold for a while because the person just had extenuating circumstances, and I was like, it's fine. But they've said they're all good, and so I am going to carry on. I haven't done 2D art in a while, so hopefully I'm not too rusty to carry on with this. So I did start this on stream several months ago. Let me just find it. There we go. Okie dokie. Over we go. Right. Where's my Spotify? Let's get some music on. Stream. Something chill. That looks great already. Thank you. Thank you very much. Coloured sketch. Right. So I think some proper lining is probably what we're going to be doing for today. Okay, let's turn off some of this. Okay, so that's the one that we went with. Lines. And we're going to make a vector layer. I'm going to get some smooth line art done on this. I will probably do it all in black and then put the colour on after. There's the pen I like to use for line art. That's this one. Okay. Where's my brush thickness? How is a 15? Maybe a bit more than that. 20? Let's try 20. Let's see how we do. I got distracted this morning with talking about books. Love that we're talking about books and stuff at the moment. Posted about the book I've been currently reading in the Discord. And the fact that I can't decide which book to read next. Let's adjust this. Too much. Do it like this so that it has like continuous flow all the way around. There we go. Let's connect those two ends like that. Fix width to about 20. So it's uniform all the way around. Like that. Okay. The other ear. Like that. Ooh, drawing all of these feathers is going to be fun. I'll probably leave that until slightly later. Let me increment this. Lining. Wait, did I already do some lining? Hang on. What do you mean file already exists? I already did some lining. Wow, that's how long it's been since I worked on this commission. I forgot that I had done some lining for it. Wild. I think it's because I've been looking at the color rough for so long that I forgot that there was a lined version. Okay, this here looks a bit odd. Hello, Core! I'm not kidding when I'm saying it's probably been like 4 months since I last worked on this. They, bless them, they were going through such a rough time, but they kept saying like, no, I do still want it, I just can't afford it. And I'm like, I don't mind, it's fine. They're like, no, it's fine, I will. And I was like, okay. Bless them. Hey, that's fine by me. Again, yeah, been a long time since I did 2D art. Great insight into my lack of brain. Sounds about right, maybe a bit longer. Yeah, see, Core probably remembers seeing me sketch this. Cole probably remembers when I did the sketch. You can have a little peek at the design process. They kind of knew what they want. They gave me a lot of examples, so it was me. This was me just sort of messing around with position. So they liked the one with one arm up. Okay, but anyway, that's really funny. Right, this section here. I don't like this little bump that's happening here. Can we join these two? There we go. Kind of have a similar thing happening here. I suppose in a way it's good to like come back to it after so long because I'm looking at it with fresh eyes and spotting all these things that apparently I did before, and I'm like, I'm going to change that. Let's connect those. Connect. I do want that slight bend in there because that's meant to be the where the palm is, and this is where the finger starts. Connect those two as well because the outer line is good, but the inner line has a weird right angle in it. Switch. And just. There we go. Are you early, or did the law of time change happen again? Technically, I started a little late. I started half an hour late, technically. I would normally start at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I started at closer to 2:30 because I was talking about books. God, I'm a nerd. Right. Okay, they themselves said not to worry too much about the DJ deck, but I feel like I could do like a little bit more. Take a shot, everybody. Complete strangers trying to add me on Discord. Ignore. Shot of water or beverage of choice. I do need to mask over here. Because we can't see the inside of the claw. Let me look at the pictures that they sent me. A long time ago. Okay, I think the reason that this doesn't look quite right is because this needs some depth to it. Long, long time ago. I cannot remember the rest of the lines for this verse. In a galaxy far, far away. Let's see. I don't want to select the layer. Can I select the object? Yes, that. We're going to copy and move down. And if we can, enlarge ever so slightly. And then erase you. That's one of the songs that lives rent free in my brain. That's one of the ones where I actually know the original more than the parody. There's quite a few of the parodies where I know the parody more, but that's one where I know the original better. I bless the rains down in let's see. Switch corner. 2 corners in there. No, thank you. No, thank you. What if I switch you to a corner and you to a corner? Okay, adjust line width, maybe. Can you tell I don't know? I don't actually have like an idea of what DJ decks look like. Never particularly examined one. I bless the rain. Whoa, bless the rain. Oh yeah, I had a symmetry thing on this, that's why. That's like that. Okay. Feel like instead of that being just a flat line like that, it could do with being like a like have thickness to it. Go vector line. Let me put a symmetry ruler on if I can. It's probably not going to be perfect. And instead, I want to do something more like that. Actually, can we do a shape, rectangle, round corner, like that? That's too jagged. Where's the anti-alias? I know catchline. I forget what it's called in music. The chorus. The chorus tends to be repeated, whereas verses in between choruses always tend to be different. Can't say I'm familiar with the rest of the song. There you go. So probably the chorus. The chorus is the bit most people remember because it's like the signature bit of the song. Definitely not. Okay, mayhap I won't do it this way then. Because it's so jagged. I'm not finding the smooth option. That's what I'm after. Wrong selection. Okay, that's too much of a bean. That's too far the other way. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Yeah. My Miss American Pie drove the Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. And good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, "This'll be the day that I die." That's the original. Through the treetop trees and the violet sky, as I drift away into the night. The wind blows the sunrise awake. As eternal darkness leaves me blind. If I had one chance to make it all better, I'd grab it and never let go. Okay, I feel like I've maybe made these too close because now I want to come and add depth to them. They're going to bump into one another, so I'm probably going to have to move them all around and maybe even just redraw them. And all the birds and the foxes sang. Hello, Hope! How are you doing today, darling? I was about to do line art for this and then forgot I had already done it. I had already done it. I'm just making adjustments now. And if I had one chance to make it all better, I would grab it and never let go. If I had one chance to make us all better, I would grab it and never let go. Never let go. Right, I'm just gonna do it this way. So I have this copy, which has the symmetry ruler on it. Done okay, as okay as somebody who would rather be at home playing video games can be, but I digress. Yes, God. You say this almost every day. We get it. We don't like you. Don't like your job. I know. I'm sorry, bud. I think I'm going to have to make the lines thinner in order to achieve what I want to. It's just I don't like my job more. I'd prefer to be doing things with my friends. That's very fair. I think literally all of us can relate to that. Oh, my neighbour's home. Crunch of gravel. I'm not certain if that has been doing what I want it to. I don't think it has. Why are you not doing what I want you to? Oh, because I can't. Because I didn't have the layer on. That wasn't the correct layer. I just had the other layers turned off. There we go. That's probably about the thickness I was going to go for. No, that doesn't mirror the movement on it on that. That's a shame. Ah! Why? Cheese? I had cheese for lunch. I have consumed cheese. How have I ended up with 2? How I ended up with 2 in that situation. Got 2 on these as well, or is that just a bit of confusion? This one still doesn't look right. Why? Because cheese is a guaranteed way to fascinate a woman. Yeah, and I just thought of something. You milk a cow for milk to drink. I already don't like where this is going. Did the word milk come from the action of milking or the liquid? The word milk probably came from the liquid because we had milk well before we milked cows because humans also produce milk. So I'm pretty sure the word milk came first. And then we discovered the action of milking other animals. Excuse me. Ugh. Sorry for the sneeze jump scare. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. DJ deck. Buttons. Okay, that's the mask. Okay, I already feel better about that now that those buttons and those bits have depth to them. These two, I think, are panels, so I don't think they need depth. By merging, it got rid of the vector. I don't want to do that. Okay, I think that actually, let's fix the end. Let's have this, like, be a bit of a slope. Hi, Dan. I'm working on a bird who is a DJ. I got a commission. I'm working on a bird who is a DJ. How's your day going, love? I can't get the perspective on this in a way that I'm happy. I'm good. How are you? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I got distracted talking about books. The stream was late. It's a good time. Blah. Oh boy, we already had elbow crack this week. My joints are not good, chat. Oh. My joints are not good. I can't recommend books to you. They have scenes that might make you uncomfortable. You're right. You're right. Maybe you need some milk. I probably get plenty of milk, frankly, between having a bowl full of cereal every morning and consistently having tea that is milky. I probably have enough milk. And I have cheese for lunch. I don't think I have a deficit in calcium. I don't think that's why my joints are crunchy. Besides, joints are for... calcium is for bones, not joints. Joints are made of, like, collagen and stuff, not bone. It's the bit in between the bone. The bit in between the bone. Speaking of books that made me uncomfortable, I got the audiobook of Wicked. It was on the Audible plus catalog. The jelly, yeah, it's the jelly bit. Apparently, it's not very jelly in my body because it keeps going crack. Jelly shouldn't go crack. But yeah. Speaking of books that made me uncomfortable, the Plus catalog on Audible is basically kind of like, here you can have just some free books, but you can only have them for like a month. They're only temporary. And they put Wicked on there, and I was like, oh my god, I love Wicked. Let's listen to the book. And that book made me uncomfortable. It is not like the musical at all. And there's other stuff in there, which, because it made me uncomfortable, you can probably guess what it was. So I don't recommend the Wicked book. Actually, musical's great. Love the musical. I don't recommend the book. The good stuff. Not like that, though. Not even the good stuff, though. Just weird, like public shaming. It's kind of that was kind of cringe. That was kind of gross. That was kind of gross to have in a book. That was a bit weird. Yeah. So yeah, speaking of books that make me uncomfortable, don't recommend the Wicked book. Actually, don't recommend. That was a weird one. That was weird. I'm glad I didn't spend money on it. That's why I get headaches. It's the jelly between my neck and spine thins. Oof. Oof. Not enough jelly in these women. It's a it's a very genuine inbuilt fear of mine. My grandmother had a very severe arthritis, and it was extremely severe in her hands. To the point that in the later years of her life, she was basically incapable of using them. And because my joints are already getting very crunchy, it is a genuine fear of mine that something may happen to my hands, which I am terrified of because I am an artist and rely on my hands to make a living. So hi, there's a little bit of sincere heart to heart from me. Anyway, do your stretches. Remember to do your stretches. They're very important. Also, my legs are fucked, but in a way, I don't care as much about them. That feels like I'm going to bring down some sort of god upon me. I do care about my legs. I do care about my legs. You know what's good for your joints is make you uncomfortable. No, no. Turns out, speaking of arthritis, it turns out cracking your knuckles isn't actually related to whether or not you have arthritis. No, I knew that a long time ago because I always used to tell Spook off for constantly cracking his knuckles, and yeah, he was very quick to tell me that because people obviously used to think that the cracking noise was something to do with your bones and it was really bad. And it generally, apparently, it can be one of two things. It is either though your joints can have little teeny tiny bubbles of air in them. They just occur naturally. And sometimes they will coalesce into a big bubble, and that cracking noise can sometimes is literally that bubble sort of being popped, like by being crushed between your joints as you sort of crush them or flex them, however you do. And the other thing that I've read is that the jelly in your joints can sometimes crystallize, which is where a lot of like arthritis and stuff comes from. And that cracking can be you breaking those crystals, which I feel like I think definitely in my knees it's the crystal kind because I can. It's crunchy. It's a crunchy noise in my knees when I walk upstairs. So I think in my knees it's the crystals. Yes, that's what I believe I was told. I'm afraid I cannot cite a source. Always do your own research if you are concerned about stuff like this. If you are genuinely concerned about medical things, always do your own research. Still not happy with how this looks. Is the crunchiness kind of an always thing? Because it could be less crystals and a lack of jelly, which they have a medical answer for. Yes, if you're asking about the crunchy knees, yes. My right knee specifically crunches every single step I take up a flight of stairs. It doesn't crunch when I'm walking naturally, but when I'm going up a flight of stairs, every single step without fail, when I lift up on my right knee, is crackly and crunchy. Which was what I went to the physio for. And then the physio was like, I don't know, do some fucking stretches. And I was like, thanks, man. Thanks. Thanks. In work, I'll meet back in 10. Bye, hope it goes okay. You know what? Delete your art. I've been fidgeting with this bloody line. And I'm not happy with it. Delete it, start again. Starlight Brigade. I know they have silicone inserts for knees and spines, but the spine is a lot more of a delicate procedure. Yes, well, naturally. Spook's mom had a spine operation, but for different reasons. She had a trapped nerve. The spine was like compressing down on it and causing a lot of pain to shoot down her leg. So she had a very major operation. She's doing well. She's 6 months into her year-long recovery. Basically, the short answer is when I went to physio and to talk about my knee and my concern of like, oh, it crackles and stuff and things like that. It basically boiled down to you're not technically feeling any pain, so I can't do anything. And I was like, cool. I was like, pretty sure knees shouldn't crackle like that, but apparently, unless I'm actually in pain, they will not do anything about it. And I was like, do we not have like preventative stuff we can do? I feel like that would be a good idea. Which I guess was maybe just the here, have some stretches. It's probably the crystals, yeah. Yeah, that's why we have elbow crack as a redeem. I will say I don't think my knuckles and finger joints crack very often. No more than I think a normal person would, especially as someone who does use her hands for her work. But obviously, elbows make everybody go "oh" whenever I do them. So yeah. I've cracked most of my joints, yeah. Knees, elbow, ankle, fingers, neck. That's the one thing that always gets me is Spook will crack his neck regularly. Mine does not do that, and every time he does it, I'm like, ugh. But I'm like, I know people think it's gross when I do it to my elbows, so I can't critique too hard, but I'm like, that's your neck. That's more important. Ugh. Yeah, and I can't say that my spine really crackles. Sometimes Spook will be like, "Oh, do you want a back crack?" and does the whole thing where you like grab someone and then bend backwards, like you're gonna suplex them, which is very funny. And it might get a little crackle then, but it like feels good, and then I'm like, oh. But not just generally when if I like wake up in the morning and I give a big old stretch, it's gonna be elbows that crack, and I'll like lift up and stretch and things like that. So yeah. I still cannot get the perspective on this right at all. Yeah, that's a bit better. I think it's too high though. Just line width. I think some weight might actually help. Line width, thicken. Thicken this underside bit to imply it's a bit more shadowy. Thin the edges. Spook is home. Yay. My back used to be very crunchy, but I've noticed it's less as I put on weight. My spine seems to be fairly tolerant at bearing loads. That's good. That's good. Makes a change for our friend group. I think we've got a 50-50 success rate in terms of functioning spines in our friend group. Now this line looks all wobbly, and I'm like, why? Not us as a group standing in the centre of Manchester and being like, there's what, 6 of us, and between us we have 2.5 functioning legs? Good. Good. Excuse me. Cool, that made that worse. Definitely making that worse. Apparently No Man's Sky dropped a new expansion, so that's likely the reason they were having a bunch of YouTube people play it last week. Ah, there you go. There ends up being a reason. Just gonna add that as well. I like copy masks. Okay, never mind. Let me just do this. Mask. Okay, I don't want the mirror on the mask. There we go. That was bothering me a little bit. The green in there. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Now I think about it, it's interesting that No Man's Sky has dropped new expansion. Aren't they supposed to be working on a new game? What's it called? Light No Fire? Something like that? Yeah. Like, looked interesting because No Man's Sky but fantasy, but because of No Man's Sky, it was very much I'm gonna wait for that to come out before I make any decisions. But now I'm like, well, what exactly is happening with that if you're still making No Man's Sky stuff? You went and announced a new game. Although I totally get that, you know, studios may have multiple teams. I'm just curious. I'm just like, hey, you've gone awfully quiet on that. What's happening with that, huh? Just curious. I think it's more a single player or maybe instance type thing. What, the new expansion, or Light No Fire? Because both of that doesn't sound correct. Both of those don't sound correct. Light No Fire. Light No Fire very clearly had multiple people in the video. The trailer very clearly had multiple people on screen at multiple times. So I don't know about that, bud. Remember, definitely remove space and multiple planets thing. Oh yeah. Not definitely because there might still be different planes, but still, well, planes is not the same as space and multiple planets, is it? So yeah, it definitely removes space and multiple planets, but it might replace them with something more magic based. It's very clearly a some sort of medieval high fantasy themed game instead. Maybe it doesn't have multiple planes, and the reason I say that is purely because it looked like it had a base building element. Because as far as I'm aware, No Man's Sky doesn't necessarily do that, because you just keep exploring, don't you? So you don't always really go back to a place. I could be wrong, I've never played this game. So he sent me a text complaining about food. That's very funny. He must have been very upset about it because he actually texted me. That's funny. You can't build bases. In fact, that's kind of one of the main story arcs. Well, there you go then. I feel like, again, it was a cinematic trailer, so who's to say, but I feel like Light No Fire definitely seemed to have like looked like there was a base building element in it. You can go underwater. That did not make it any bigger. Cool. Look, houses and multiple people on screen. They're chopping down a tree, building a house, multiple people. Kingfisher! I love that there's a kingfisher. And of course, dragons. So yeah, even though it's made by the No Man's Sky people, potentially I think calling it Fantasy No Man's Sky is actually unfair because honestly, it doesn't look like it. You know? Enshrouded vibes. I vaguely remember Enshrouded, yeah. So it doesn't serve No Man's Sky, you know? Also, there's bunny people. Can be a bunny. Yeah. I think literally, as I said, the day this trailer was announced, of like, it looks cool, but fool me once with No Man's Sky, or wait for it to come out first, leave it a couple of months, see what people say about it. But yeah, it doesn't actually look all that much like No Man's Sky. It doesn't look like it's that kind of game. So I think calling it Fantasy No Man's Sky is probably a bit unfair. Light No Fire is a game about adventure, building, survival, and exploration together. It's literally the first paragraph. Multiplayer Earth, carve a life together. It might be single player. I don't think it is. I think they want you to play it with people. Yeah. No release date, though, so... It's just on the surface, it looks very much like Fantasy No Man's Sky. Well, that's the thing. I'm literally just looking at the surface. And I'm like, well, No Man's Sky, you have a ship and you go to different planets and you don't really have a base and things like that. And here it's like you build a base, there isn't multiple planets. The only thing they have in common is you explore. And I'm like, cool, that's any RPG. That's any RPG. I don't see. And again, I've not played No Man's Sky, so I can't fully critique. But just as a surface view, they don't look all that similar at all. As Dennis said, by that logic, Minecraft is a pixel No Man's Sky. Because No Man's Sky, you like catalog all the things you find. It doesn't look like you do that in that kind of game. I don't know if it's a dungeon crawler because I'm not entirely sure if there were dungeons there, so to speak, but it certainly looked like there were big boss fights out in the world. I don't know. And so I think probably just calling it Fantasy No Man's Sky maybe is a little unfair to the devs. Because it looks like actually they're trying to go for something a little bit different. I was actually just sitting here and was like, why announce it so early if you don't even have a release date planned? And then I realised of like, stocks and shares probably. Investments. That's why they announce it when it's not ready to even have a date announced. Is they announce it so that people can go, oh, that looks cool, and then maybe some business people go, we're going to invest in that because the game looks like it will do well. That's probably why they announced it so early. Got to put food on the table at the end of the day. Hi, Nan. It is Wednesday indeed. First day back at work after a vacay, and I'm ready for another vacay. Nice. I hope you had a good vacation. It was short, mostly a PTO burn. I lose it if I don't use it. Of course. This late in the year. Interesting. Most people I know, it tends to be sort of like March, April, end of the tax year kind of thing, where it's like, hey, you need to use up all your holiday or you'll lose it. Mm-hmm. He's got green claws. Just zoom in to have a look. He's got green claws, apparently. We accrue monthly, and I'm capped. PTO also rolls over year after year, so I've been capped for some years now. Oh, damn. Sounds like you work hard, then. You should take some time off. It's good for you. If it's paid, all the better. Okay, this does go very close to the eye. And then comes down, not quite to the end of the nose, but close to the end of the nose. Blah. By the way, remember how I said Oryx recipe was ridiculous? As an example, you need 1,200 bowls of food, about 6 sets of different types, and that's just 200 bowls is 324 gold. What? I have a fully leveled chef. I could make a killing here. Oh boy, I'm about to make a name for myself here. Jesus. Hang on, where's the video that I saw? because it had a thing on it. Wiki page. The food is one gift of blah blah out of four to chuck in the forge. Ah, that's always how legendaries are, isn't it? It's gift of whatever. The devs literally were like, we need to make cooking useful. We need to make cooking more useful. By God, I will have that freaking Leggy. It is so pretty. The thing was that I actually started one of the legendary backpacks, but like the first one, the one that looks like the crystal wings. But I did not make a lot of progress on it because it's the one that's like it's the ascended backpack. It's not a legendary. It's ascended. It's the ascended backpack that's from like doing the mists things from when we were doing mist stuff. No, it is. Oh, yeah, it is legendary. Ad infinitum. Yeah, ad infinitum. I started ad infinitum and then rapidly did not make a lot of progress on it. I attempted the fractal backfire, did not get very far. Yeah, same. Yeah, I still have half of this stuff in my bag because I like have some of it. Like I went and got the I did this. I went and got the elemental core, and then went to go do the thing to imbue it in the magma. So I did like some. So I've got like tier 1 of the backpack, I think. Yeah, because you got to do all of them. I think I have tier 1 of the backpack. Cries. And now I like the look of this one a lot better. So, I don't know. Plus you get a glider that is also a dragon, so like, what's not to love? But, holy shit. I'm trying to find the thing, but I can't remember where it was. Amen, yeah. Apparently, this is what I was trying to find. Blish has a crafting thing, which might help. That's what I was trying to find. I was like, I watched a video of someone talking about this, and I couldn't remember the name of it. Apparently, it's called the Mystic Crafting Module. Apparently. There we go. Everything you need to know about acquiring items, track your progression with synchronized account data and a detailed overview. Start legendary crafting. Crafting a legendary item can be a daunting process with many steps and hidden costs. This module provides an easy-to-use tree view that displays all the items you need to craft and collect, including the costs associated with each item. What is with my spelling today? You're fine, you're fine. Yeah, look, it looks like it's got a checklist, look. And it even shows you the stuff you've got. Synchronize your account data for accurate price calculations. See exactly how many items you need and already have, and how many you need for item purchase. So this example here is Astral Ward leggings, which would cost 39 gold. To get that, you can get Pouch of Stardust, a Gift of Bones, which is crafted with these bones here, 100 of these, 250 of these, 50 of these, 50 of these. Purified Essence, which is made of that, which is made of that. I need this, what's it called? This is the Mystic Crafting Module for Blish HUD. And we've already talked about Blish HUD in the past. This is the thing that I use for pathing. This is the Mystic Crafting Module for Blish. I will send the page link to you, but I think you just search for it. I don't know. I don't actually know how you install new modules. Let me send the web page to you. There we go. So I think if you have, it's one of those things where when you have Blish HUD itself doesn't have a lot in it, and then you have to install the additional modules. The last update was 2 months ago, which was probably when Aurochs was released. Pick the best crafting path. Items can be acquired in different ways, such as purchasing them from the trading post or vendor, or crafting the item yourself. In the crafting tree view, items have different tabs available for acquisition options. You get to choose the best crafting path for you by selecting your preferred way of acquiring an item. Depending on your tab of choice, you get different options to refine your crafting path further. Any of your choices are automatically remembered, so you don't have to keep selecting them. Okay. So I suppose you can, I guess that means it tells you, you can be like, oh, I have max in leatherworking, so I would rather craft anything in leatherworking. I'm assuming, I haven't used this. But it's like, oh, I don't have levels in jewel crafting, so I would rather just buy those. I suppose is the option there of what you want to do. Neat. That's what I was trying to find. If it's a Blish module, you download it in Blish. Yes, you do. So Blish itself doesn't come with anything. You have to pick the modules you want. Blah. Oh, sudden spasm of pain. It's fine. Ugh. And it's gone. Oof. I do have a cook character somewhere nice. And so I have not done a lot of crafting leveling on other characters. I've got max level cook on my main, as well as max level huntsman and leatherworker. And I don't really have any other max level thing. This was the thing where I said of like when I finish Final Fantasy, as much as I love it, I know this is probably going to be in like 12 months. But when I finish Final Fantasy story, I will probably cancel my sub because it costs money, and I will probably just play a lot of Guild Wars and do like Guild Wars stuff because Guild Wars doesn't have a sub. So I might actually, pick up a crafting project to make a legendary at that point. Also, to be real, guys, my FF sub is up in 3 days, and I was briefly considering cancelling it, but then you guys were all really nice and generous, and now I don't have to do that. Have you pre-ordered the new content? No, I had a wedding. I had a wedding to pay for. I will probably pre-order it next month. When does it come out? When does it come out? Guild Wars 2 expansion. When does it come out? October. Okay, yeah, I got loads of time. End of October. Okay, I can leave the entirety of September. I can get it later. Because I get paid in the middle of the month from Twitch, so I can literally wait until the middle of October to see how I am. So I can leave that for a while. To recover. I wish I would stop having pain spasms. I've been fine all day. I've been literally fine all day. Why is it happening now? It's already up for pre-order. Oh, well, obviously it is. That's what a pre-order is. I know it's available. I'll probably go for the most basic. What are the different ones? We've got standard, deluxe, and ultimate. That's the usual fare. What do we get? What do you get with all of them? So the standard is just the game. Let's see. Pre-ordering Visions of Eternity unlocks a Commodore's hat skin. Hilarious. The Eternal Alchemist title and a chromatic resin weapon skin. Oh, they look pretty. Upgrade to the deluxe edition of the expansion to get the Castoran tentacled skimmer skin, which is apparently not pictured. Oh, is it this? That looks like something out of Avatar, I'm not gonna lie. We do not have an in-game picture of that yet. A permanent gathering tools set. That's always useful to have. A character slot. Oh, a slot! Also fair. And an identity repair kit. Yeah, do we not have a screenshot of the mount skin? We do not have a screenshot of the mount skin at the moment. And then the ultimate is going to be all of that plus gems. That's usually how it goes. Upgrade the ultimate to get everything including Dux plus 4,000 gems to spend at the Bloodline Trading Company. That's usually how it is. Ultimate is just deluxe plus gems. How much is 4,000 gems worth? 4,000 gems is worth £42. So I suppose you could think of that of like if the standard is 21 and the ultimate is 64, that's not quite. Basically, the deluxe stuff is basically free. Or you could consider that to be half price for the gems. Because half price would be £21. So the jump from 43 to 64 is about half price on the gems. Roughly. Not that I would go for either of those generally. Yeah, I'm guessing that there is the skimmer skin, but we don't have a screenshot of it yet, so ArenaNet, Can we get a screenshot of the skin? Oh, you found it. It's a jellyfish? That's so weird. I don't know if I like it. They stole that from Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter didn't invent jellyfish. It's a big old jellyfish. It's pretty. Don't get me wrong, it's pretty. But I don't know if I'd use it. I love that it's different though, honestly. I love different mount skins. Like, I think my favorite skimmer skin, unsurprisingly, is the bird. I currently have the enchanted skimmer because it was in the wizard's vault. So I have this, which is very pretty. But unsurprisingly, I like the hummingbird. Ah, there it is. Oh, what a weird face. It's got a weird face. It is pretty. It is pretty. I just don't think I would use it. Aurora skins are always pretty. Interesting that they're giving a skimmer skin for the new expansion. I distracted you once again. You're fine, you're fine. Technically, I regained time today because I thought I had to do line work and I didn't. I did a bit of fidgeting with the line work, but I mostly didn't have to do line work today. Though I suppose I should probably mark tangent off. But it was a willing tangent. Love talking about Guild Wars. I'm a Guild Wars stan, I feel. I feel like this is what we've come to. I think because the group is always so obsessed about FF that I have to give Guild Wars a voice. I'm just like, Guild Wars is good. Yeah, I did apply for the content partner thing. I did eventually get a response, unsurprisingly. I did not get picked. Which is very not surprising. But hey, we tried. I'm actually going to do this one, like, here. Where? I dare you distracted, that's my job. Not happy with this shape. Feels a little bit better. I'm gonna do the DJ deck on a separate layer, I think, so we're gonna go with Navali base colours, and then we'll do a new layer underneath. So yeah. We were this close to going back to Guild Wars because they couldn't do FF. But we're okay now. But it was close. I also think I might have gotten lynched if I at this stage, given where I am in Endwalker's story, if I suddenly went, "Hey guys, we're not playing FF anymore," I think several people would come and kill me. DJ deck, base color. Bah. Wow. I've gone to the effort of making like multiple characters in Guild Wars, and I haven't really sat down and just played a bunch of them, to be fair. So I don't even know if I like how the class performs. Though I will say the new subclass for Elementalist looks kind of cool, and I do have an Elementalist, so I'm like, maybe I'll play that. We in the concentration hours. Okay, let's make a new layer for the background disk. Oh, I've turned caps lock on somehow. background ring. No, I don't really need to do that. Let's just do it this way. Do it all one colour to start with, and then I will put in the second colour because it's going to be a two-colour ring around. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Time to think. Make a group. I'm going to make a separate group for this. For the darker pink there. Actually, I'm going to flip these. I want to flip them. I do want to flip them. Mm-hmm. Start again. Okay, let me do this. Yeah, literally start again. Somewhat similar to Guild Wars, No Man's Sky is a very consumer friendly model. Oh, go on. Speak more on that. Oop. Hit the microphone because I'm not used to where it is. You buy the game once and all the content in the game is yours. Then might I have to go make sure use microtransactions, but you can get the special currency in game. Oh, is that for me? Thank you.
Snake.
What?
Because it's 1T.
Hey, mwah. Love you. Thank you very much. I have to mark off bingo now. Oh, tea. You can just put it there. You don't have to take it downstairs. I just needed it to be moved out the way because there wasn't room for it. Have you had a good day?
Yes.
Are we going now?
Do you want the special soup?
I want the soup.
Special soup.
Soup. Going to Wagamama's. Soup. Look at y'all being trees. Wow. Trees? How dare you? Sappy. Wow. What are you going to do about it? Encourage it. Yeah. I was wrong on the microtransactions. You cannot spend real money to get anything in game besides the game itself. I mean, it isn't an MMO, so it's kind of only MMOs that tend to have, subscriptions. It's kind of one of the things I think defines them. I suppose Guild Wars is the exception. And so normal games tend to any normal game that isn't an MMO that tries to have a reoccurring payment tends to have a battle pass these days. We know how to go too far. Go back to the hard. It's massive, basically infinite, and it is multiplayer and online. So, well, there you go then, I suppose. I suppose, like, yeah. It's one of those things where technicalities are funny. Like, that. Did you know that there is an official, licensed, endorsed by Nintendo Pokemon FPS? It's called Pokemon Snap. So yeah. I suppose when people say MMO, what they mean is MMORPG, like World of Warcraft. But I suppose No Man's Sky is still an RPG, so yeah. Bruh. The only thing that's a real detractor is that it's kind of instanced. A party is 4 players, but an area can have up to 32 in it that are trackable. So kind of like Monster Hunter in a way of like you can have a bunch of players in your lobby, but you can still only hunt with 4. Tea is too warm to drink. Make it a gorgeous dinner we haven't cooked before the other night. Beef, mince, pasta, and cheese. It was lush. Ooh. What are you having for dinner? I need ideas. So, Wednesday is our date night, so we're going out to Wagamama's. Yeah. So I don't think that's a helpful idea. However, I did see a recipe for a good-looking soup on online, which Stanji is now trying to replicate, and he's very upset because he can't find chorizo, which is one of the ingredients. The man with the Costco membership can't find chorizo. What a noob. Yeah, apparently he's going to go to Costco tomorrow. Apparently that's the one place he hasn't been. Yeah. So this is from memory. It was slice up chorizo sausage and cook it low and slow to render out a lot of the fat, and then up it quick, and then up it to crisp it up a bit. Remove it, cook an onion in the rendered out fat. Put like 3 cloves of it was like 3 or 6, which is a very different number. I can't remember what it was. Cloves of garlic in, and cook that in the fat. Then it was cooked potatoes go in, about 3 cups of chicken stock, blend it all up so you get a smooth soup. And then put in, I think then you put in the chorizo, and then the optional one was you could throw in a bunch of kale for veggies. And just let it all cook down. And that was the soup recipe. And I sent it to Stanji yesterday, so I was like, this actually looks good. And he wanted to try to make it today. Now he is not. Anything that has both chicken and chorizo is going to be naan. Yeah. Well, when you're making a soup, you're going to use a stock of some kind. It's basically, do you want a veggie stock or do you want chicken stock? Chicken stock is good. I've never tried making soup from scratch. That is something I have never tried, but I do have an immersion blender, so it's like I have the tools. I have the tools if I want to. But yeah. I will often make one of those, like, you know, you can get those packets of seasoning. I'll often get one of those ones for fajitas, and rather than buying like one of the fajita boxes, I tend to just buy the seasoning packets and then like get the other stuff myself. So I'll get the seasoning packet and like some wraps if we feel like it, but sometimes we don't even bother with the wraps. We just want the chicken on its own. And I'll just throw that in. Seasoning packets are the tits, they really are. So it's just like, you know, chicken breast seasoning packet, and then just throw in like whatever veg you want. Almost every single time it starts with an onion. So I'd do it like onion first, garlic, and then throw the chicken in, and I will literally throw in any veg. Obviously I know you don't like mushrooms, but I do, so I tend to throw in mushrooms. Spook likes carrots, so we throw in carrots. And when doing fajitas specifically, I also tend to throw in a bunch of peppers. There's the sausage casserole that's in the slow cook thing, but obviously it's a bit late to slow cook, but I suppose technically you can make it not slow cooking it. I don't know if it would be as good though. Which is literally just like beans, it's beans, sausages, chicken stock, veg, throw in the slow cooker, and leave it. And it's pretty freaking tasty. Man, it sucks that it's so far away from you guys because there's a chicken place by us, which is great. And when I say chicken place, I don't mean a restaurant. I mean it's a it's like a supplier. It's this. It's I think it's had about like 3 different names apparently. We call it Chicken Joe's, but it's also been known as Love Joe's, Food by Joe, and Food Warehouse apparently. Ow. And we get all of our chicken meat from there. We don't buy chicken meat at the supermarket anymore. And you can get a bunch of it, like, you can get it plain. Like, you can get plain chicken breast. You can get all sorts of cuts. You can get chicken breast. You can get chicken thighs, boneless chicken thighs. You can get wings. You can get chicken drums. That good. It's really good. So the thing that we tend to get every time we go maybe every 2 or 3 months, depending on how much we've eaten in the last month. The thing that I tend to pick up is they do plain, but they also do pre-marinated chicken. And we like the lemon and herb. They do a Mediterranean one, which is very nice. But they do like a barbecue one as well. And sometimes I use the marinated barbecue in fajitas with fajita spice. Yeah, barbecue fajitas. And the bags are, I want to say it's 400 grams per bag, and they do 3 for £10. And I can get a portion for both of us. I can get 2 portions from one bag. So basically, we get 100 grams each per meal. So they're about 400 gram bags. So whenever I get them, I cut open the bags and I portion them off. This is like the only meal prep that I do. I portion them off into Tupperware containers and then I'll put them in the freezer and label them and stuff. And when we want them, I tend to ask Spook like either the day before or I just make the decision because Spook isn't fussed generally. And I'll get it out of the freezer in the morning to thaw. And so the 200 gram tends to be a portion. We got nothing like that around here. Yeah, you should get some. It's really good. I go with my parents now because my parents live in Sutton, and it's probably a half-hour drive for them. But they also get the chicken from there. But they also do breaded chicken. So they do the plain chicken. As I said, you can get plain breast. You can also get this either chilled or frozen. I get it chilled and then freeze it because when it's frozen, it's basically a brick and I can't split it. So I buy it fresh. I pre-portion it out and then I freeze it. But they also do breaded chicken, and they do like big bulk bags of these things. They do. We don't buy them because they're too big, but they do kilogram bags of like chicken nuggets. Do they have a website? So you can get 400 grams of battered chicken breast bites in the 3 for 10. Yeah, they do a kilogram of chicken nuggets for £6. But yeah, they do chicken nuggets, but they also do popcorn chicken, which has a bit of seasoning to it. My mum is quite partial to the panko chicken goujons, which have the different breadcrumbs. Panko breadcrumbs tend to be used in a lot of like Japanese cooking things. When I was, but yeah. I think the 3 for 10 on the raw chicken is easily the best, and because it's like pre-marinated, it tastes great. Literally like zero fuss of just grab it, throw it in a pan, can have it as it is, throw in some veg if you want. Most basic meal that I do with them is literally just boil some frozen veg. This is when I literally can't be arsed, so I've got it out the freezer. Sometimes I don't even remember to defrost it. So I've got it out the freezer. So I put it in the pan on a low temperature with a bit of oil to like let it thaw and cook slowly. Throw some frozen veg in a pot and boil it, and throw chips in the air fryer. And I'm like, there we go, simple meal. Can't be asked to do anything more complicated, and it's good. But then sometimes, as I said, I use like the barbecue marinated one alongside like the fajita seasoning and make fajitas with it, and it's good. So yeah, it's great. So we heard about it through the family, very much a word of mouth thing. Didn't see it advertised anywhere. And they also have a little points thing that they do, where every time you spend a certain amount of money, you get a stamp, and then when you come back with a full card, you get like £5 off, which is pretty worth it for us because of how often we go. And it's great because you just have a supply of chicken. And it's like, what do I cook? And then you just go in the freezer, and it's like, oh, I got a bunch of this chicken. I can make something with it. Okay, that feather detail actually do be looking pretty sick. Okay, let's put all of you into that folder. Bless you. Mm-hmm. Just drink some more tea. Have you tried any more recipes from the slow cooker cookbook? I actually forgot that they gave that to you. Now we're in autumn, it's literally like slow cooking season. May have to have it back for a bit so I can refresh myself on some of the recipes or maybe try some new ones. In a day. So we make a shadow that has a blue tint to it, and then we're also going to make a shadow that has a pink tint to it, which won't be hugely noticeable, but adds to it. Oh yeah, it's all good. Don't worry about it. I must have had that cookbook for like 3 years and used a total of 2 recipes from it. Okay, I've made up the half-hour late start, and I will need to stop there so that we can go have Wagamama's and be back later for our friends to look at photos. Ah. Okay. That is pretty good progress, if I do say so myself. I will probably work a little more on it. Well, I say probably, I will be working on it a little bit more on Friday, because commissions always overtake, well, non-commission work. Cool. Righto. Okay, might as well snooze that ad because we're about to end. After all. Right. Yeah, I think I am going to end there. So yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow for Endwalker, or are we going to start calling it Tears Walker now? Because yeah, I actually haven't had too many people asking me like how I feel about what happened to Thancred, and I don't know if I'm in denial, but I'm like I feel okay because we like to partake in the I don't see a body, and so it's probably not. We're refusing to acknowledge it. Maybe of no, I don't think he's dead. Maybe I don't know. Anyway, but we'll get to address that tomorrow. But for now, enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you get up to. I'll probably see some of you later in a VC to look at some photos. I'm very excited. Yes, I said 7:30 because I figured 7 we might not be back from going out for food, which we're now going to go do. So yay! Right, I'll see you later. Enjoy the rest of the day, whatever you get up to. Love you loads. Thanks so much, everyone, for giving me company. Love you all. Right. Take care, everybody. I'll see you soon. Bye. 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 Bye bye. Bye.